Hey y'all, let's talk about bevels on your pencils and how it relates to shading. I've got a pencil right here. This is a lead holder. If you guys have never seen a lead holder before, this is one of the ones that I use. It's just a simple little TK 9400 by Faber-Castell. And what I'm talking about here is the bevel that's on the end of that. I also have a secondary bevel. It's called a chisel tip there, where I have it coming to a point like a normal pencil, but then if you turn it to the side, you can see that then it's got this bevel on it. I use that bevel for a bunch of different reasons. One of them is so I can make a nice, sharp, wide line, and then all I have to do if I want to make a skinny line is turn it on its side, and I can make a fine line. It's really nice to be able to give different qualities of line from the same pencil and do different things. So the lead that I'm using here is a 3B. I find it to be pretty standard for drawing. I like to use it when I'm just sketching. I like to use it when I'm doing a lot of initial layout with shading and whatnot, some kind of initial shading, but it's my standard drawing pencil, and when I'm doing demonstrations like this, I think it shows up very, very well without getting too smudgy and too kind of chalky in its consistency on the paper. So one of the things that I really love doing with a pencil that has a bevel on it like this is I love the idea of shading, if we're adding value. This is actually called a gradient when I'm getting ready to lay down. So what I'm doing, of course, if anybody knows, is I'm pressing harder this way and then getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter as I move along. I think these things are just excellent as a gradient. I'm getting a little bit of stuff from my paper underneath. That's why you see that little line there. But to use that bevel, it just helps so much when I'm shading, because it allows me to just work on so much more of the pencil lead. Doing something like a gradient with a point is very difficult because that point is a very hard line, and I almost have to wait until the point is worn completely away before I can actually get that smooth value that I'm looking for when I'm adding on my color and such. And that's something that a lot of kids, they struggle with in the beginning of learning value and gradients, is that you guys want to try to make these smooth shading areas with the tip of a pencil. So you go and you sharpen your pencil to your point. That's not a good strategy to go into. I like to always keep a piece of sandpaper next to my drawing board. When my bevel gets kind of rounded off, or my shape of my pencil lead gets a little bit messed up from where I like it, all I have to do is grab my pencil the way I normally would, lay down a piece of sandpaper, and then just kind of make a couple strokes back and forth, and I know that my bevel is ready to roll. Again, you can kind of see, very simple. It's ready to roll. And then if I want a chisel tip and sharpen the one side, I can just set the pencil over on its side a little bit, and I can go this way and then rotate and go this way, and I still have my bevel on one side, and then I've got my point from this direction. So invest in a 50-cent piece of sandpaper. It'll last you 20 years. They're excellent for sharpening pencils and things like that on the cheap. So good deal, good information to know when we're doing our drawing and stuff. So this kind of pencil lead type information, this is going to lead directly into when we start talking about adding value and shading when we do our linear gradients and our radial gradients, like what I'm putting in front of you here. So new video coming soon about linear and radial gradients, but this is just about my pencil and the way that I use it.